What I learned from John Travolta, Christopher Reeve, and Matt Damon. Um, I've lived in three different places in my life, and that was first I'm from Chicago, then I moved to New York, and now I'm living in Los Angeles. And every single place that I lived, I had the opportunity, certain careers and jobs that I had, where I met a ton of celebrities, more than I could possibly even talk about. And I actually stopped talking about them in my singing advertisements. I used to use a lot of them, but then I stopped doing that because I realized that people were placing their worth against all of those people because we think that they have everything happening for them. They are somehow different than who we are, and that's never the case. What I'm always going for, what I'm always working with, is getting the individual you to figure out who you are because you have just as much. But some of the stories are really fascinating, and I'll tell you a few of them. Now, not all of them, all the other celebrities I like, I've met some that were really, that I wouldn't talk about because they weren't quite as wonderful, but the the list is really long. But the first one was this was happening in New York, and it was John Travolta. I was working at the Plaza Hotel, and he came in to have some services done for his mother, and his mother was dying at the time. And the thing that struck me the most was how he was he was shy. He was just really kind of laid back, and all he cared about was, you could see his heart, though. His heart was so out in front. I mean, the first thing that happens, you're like struck by his eyes are just like, they're stunning when you first see him. And but all he cared about was, what can I do for my mother? How can I help her in some way? It was just truly extraordinary, and I thought, this guy's a star, and this is what's going on for him. And then the next time, and I was still in New York then. I had opened a business, and I was going to have an opening at a nightclub, and I was checking out the nightclub. So I'm at this nightclub, and I'm in line, and Christopher Reeve, we were standing in line, going to the restroom. And it was funny, we started talking because we were the same height. Many of you know, I hope you know Christopher Reeve. He was Superman, unfortunately, who passed away a while ago. But I still get to see him through his son, who is now a broadcaster on ABC. He's a newsman on ABC, but anyway, a correspondent. And we're standing there in line, and we just struck up this conversation. And actually, he started the conversation, which was really kind of surprising for me because he was already pretty known at this time. But just the most down-to-earth person you'd ever want to meet. Then later, when I'm in Los Angeles, I was going to the gym. I was working back at a talent agency at the time. I'd done that before in New York as well, but now I'm back at another talent agency. But I needed to be there early, so I was going to the gym, private gym, smaller gym, here in Hollywood, and I would go there early in the morning. And Matt Damon was working out at that time, and I'd see him, and I would purposely, because I always gave everybody their space. I'm not going to go up and talk to you. I'm just not going to do that. And so I would give him his space, and he's working out with his trainer. I'm not going to say anything. And he noticed that. He comes over to me. He says, "Hello, good morning," puts his hands out and says, "This is," he introduces himself. Denzel Washington did exactly the same thing because we were all at the same gym at that time, and he did that. But there was one time where Denzel wasn't going to say anything because he was working on a film, and he stayed into character all the time when he was doing that. But I just wanted to tell this story because, and there's so much more, but I just wanted to talk about it because I want people to understand that I don't use that stuff when I'm working with you. I need you to understand who you are because you have something just as great as everyone else. But we have a mindset that we've adapted for various reasons that doesn't allow us to embrace, accept, and develop what we have within us. And it drives me a little crazy when I see that happening. This is why I am so passionate about the work that I'm doing, because I know what you have inside of you, and that's the thing that we need to bring out. And a lot of people are questioning that now due to what's happening in the world. We're looking at ourselves and we're questioning what we're here to do. And I'm telling you, every single person has something within them that they are meant to offer that is just as valuable and can get them just as famous as all those other people if they were willing to take the steps to discover what that is within them and then decide to own it. And it is a mindset thing, and it takes time, but it is doable, and that is the work that I do. All right, see you guys soon.